it's Damien from DK Film Podcast. Today, we'll be starting another episode. We'll be doing another episode of of the podcast here. So, we got some really interesting news today to talk about. We got Jurassic World, Domination news, Godzilla news, Batman news, Wonder Woman and a Wonder Woman announcement, and so much more to talk about. It's gonna be a jam-packed episode, folks. So, let's just get right into the news, shall we? Alrighty, so here we are, and here is our first news. And no thanks, CW Entertainment. We've got a number of Entertainment Weekly articles to cover, but this is our first one, and we won't be seeing another article from them for a bit. So, first news. Okay, Sam Neill will face off against dinosaurs again this week for Jurassic World Domination. Actors are pricing his role as Alan Grant. We all know Alan Grant. Man. Okay, if we can really get this ad out of here, or whatever that is, out of the way, be perfect. So, here, as you can see here, Sam Neill is going to be coming back as Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park in Jurassic World Domination. Sam Neill said this: "Hold on to your hats. Getting my old one back on this week and facing off dinosaurs once again. Best yet. Excited and terrified. These things will kill you." That's quite accurate, to be honest. That is quite accurate, to be perfectly honest. But it's great that we're gonna have him back. We need to have, and this is just coming from somebody who enjoys Owen Grady. We need to have them have a discussion about velociraptors, because both of them have had different experiences with velociraptors. Owen, he's worked with them. Alan Grant, he's kind of terrified of them. But nonetheless, we are going to have to talk. He's going to have to see that. We're going to have to see that. And I can't wait to see that. So, continuing on, Bryce Dallas Howard confirmed this, but also that Jurassic World Domination will resume filming. The coronavirus halted production of the film. Bryce Dallas said that they are going to be doing what they can to make sure that they don't make compromises that could undermine someone's health, which is important. I mean, since we are in the middle of a pandemic, we don't want anyone to be, compromised, get their health impacted. But it's good that they'll try to make sure that they'll keep an eye, they'll think about the actor's health and everybody else's health, of course. So when they're making decisions, which is important. Hopefully this doesn't prevent the film from being really good, but we'll see, So, I think that's it. There's not much to really talk about this one. We've got some other ones that are going to be, quite lengthy to talk about. Plus, we've got a bunch more other stuff to talk about, so let's not worry about that right now. But, on to the next one. From Deadline. How Tom Cruise and Doug Liman pitched way to $200 million Universal commitment on space film with Elon Musk. Alrighty, so let's talk about this. Alright, this I want to see this film. So, my goodness, but Universal is planning on making a film set in space. How did this happen? Well, a Zoom call with Tom Cruise, director Doug Liman, Christopher McQuarrie, and P.J. Von Sandwick is what made this happen. There is currently no script for the film, but they have a budget of around $200 million. Elon Musk's SpaceX will be a partner for this film. Now, it's cool that SpaceX is going to be playing a part in this. SpaceX is pretty cool. There's something that they're going to be mentioning. I'm going to talk a bit more about that. But I love SpaceX. I love what they're doing right now. So we'll talk about that later on in this article. Later on from what we're going to be learning from the film. The amount of the film is not as much as it costs to make a space film that doesn't require breaking through the atmosphere. We got reports that Tom Cruise wanted to make a film set in space. They were present when the Falcon 9 rocket launched 2 American astronauts into space. I was there. Well, I wasn't there physically, but I was watching live that happening. I was loving it. It was amazing. God, I love space, but again, it was worth it. It was worth watching. I recommend checking that out if you haven't, because that is something that should be discussed. It should be seen because it is a really good film. It was a really good moment. Like I now want to find an image. I still have to find an image of the rocket launching to make as a background on one of my computers. Although right now, since we got new hardware, I have to get things set up properly, and since this thing doesn't have any HDMI ports, I have to, get a new one just to plug my computer in, just to use my second monitor. But I'm working on it. I just recently got it, but still. Let's see. Mission Impossible 7 is currently in production, which, hey, I've enjoyed the Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. That was the one I saw. I haven't seen any of the others, but I do want to see the others. But yeah, so it's good to know that it's interesting to see that they're making a 7th movie, although I have no idea how many films they're going to make, but they're probably going to keep making them until Tom Cruise is no longer viable to. Cruise and Lemon are capable of pulling this off. Both are pilots and have an adventurous spirit, which shows in their films. Cruise has done crazy stuff before. He's hanged off the side of a plane in the 5th Mission Impossible movie. He is a planer, but is also fearless. So they are capable of actually pulling this off. They will be able to talk about it. They will be able to do this. They're not going to be, they're gonna. I could see them pulling this off, and we will continue to bring reports on this as it breaks, alright? I can't wait to talk about this. I can't wait to continue to talk about this. Like I said, I want to see the film. I want to see this. I want to see them make this film because this film is going to be really good. This will be very interesting to see because we've seen a bunch of space films where space is added in digitally, but this one will be fun to see because it's going to be a whole different film. And it'll be fun to watch. I can't wait for it. So, now, on to Godzilla. Cancel. X. Okay. Update. The Heavy's purpose in Godzilla vs. Kong potentially revealed. So, this is regarding the toys. There might be a bit of spoilers in here. We don't know anything yet really about the film. This is the first time I'm actually learning something regarding it, but still, it's interesting nonetheless. So, we are slowly seeing the release of Playmate's Godzilla vs. Kong line. The HAVE, or Hollow Earth Anti-Gravity Vehicle, has been revealed in a toy with a skull crawler, and we can actually. That's what that looks like. You can kind of get a rough idea what that looks like. For those of you who are watching on the listening on the podcast, you can't really hear. It's some kind of. I'm trying to figure it's got like 4 inches on the side. It's kind of like a jet looking, but without wings, and it's got engines on the side on 4 sides with a bit sticking out for a cockpit. So that's kind of what it looks like. I did my best to describe it, of course. I'll continue doing my best to describe it. But yes, okay. Its purpose is unknown, other than that it's meant to navigate through the Hollow Earth that was set up in King of the Monsters. This was shown in a video from High Flyers Tag Team, and I'll see if I can find that video and put it in the description. I'll do my best to see if I can do about it, but I've mentioned the YouTube channel name at least, so you can check it out if you so do want to. We see in the Instagram account that was mentioned in the video, SB Toys, which I believe we have what they're. So here's the video. We can watch that at a later point. And we can look at that. But here is the account and the picture that is shown to us. That the Skullcrawler is red and gray, as we can see here in this image, and and here as well. Okay, no, that doesn't anything. Okay, so, it's like I mentioned, it's a Skullcrawler with red and gray on it. If you have not seen Kong, I really don't even know how to describe that, but okay, for those of you listening on, Subscribe Star, but still, is red and gray. The vehicle is new to us, but the Skullcrawler appeared in a leak earlier this year. This could be used to explore the area that the Skullcrawlers live in. It could also be there to kill them, to hunt, kill, and transport them. The battle damage on the toy has could be caused by the or Kong with his battle axe. We also learn that Godzilla may destroy a radio tower, and I'll show that image as well here as well. And it's just Kong crushing a radio tower. I mean, Godzilla. If you haven't, again, Godzilla. For those of you listening on the podcast, there's nothing really to describe there. Which came from it may destroy a radio tower, which came from a leak. This could be a subtle nod to 1954 Godzilla, or that Godzilla uses it to fight Kong at either a military base or a Monarch facility. The heads may not have any weapons, as mentioned by another YouTuber, Dangerville. High Flyers tag team also added that Playmates may be holding off on revealing any figures with heavy spoilers material until 2021. This would probably include the figure Warbat, which it's kind of like a bat with wings, is the best way to describe it for y'all on the podcast. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with this. So, it's I will say, I can't wait to see this film. This is going to be interesting to watch. We'll keep an eye out for more stuff from this. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. Of course, we'll keep an eye out for more stuff from Kong versus Zilla. Kong versus King Godzilla versus King Kong. Whatever, same difference. Okay. No thanks. This is technically not my first time. Okay. So, on to some Batman news. Dave Bautista says he tried to get the role of Bane in Matt Reeves' Batman. Guardians of the Galaxy actor was responding to a fan's tweet that speculated he could be playing Batman's adversary, which would be cool if it actually happened, but unfortunately it seems like that's not happening. So, Dave Bautista has denied that he is playing Bane in Matt Reeves' Batman. He tried to get the role. He put out a tweet that was where he was at the Warner Bros. Lot, and fans of the actor speculated that he could be playing Bane in the film. Bane has appeared in 2 Batman movies before. One of them was The Dark Knight Rises. Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Peter Sarsgaard, Andy Serkis, and Colin Farrell will be rounding out the cast. They plan to release the film on October 1st, 2021. So, hopefully we get to see some footage from this. Unfortunately, our man Drax won't be playing Bane in another universe, but hopefully we'll get to see him at some point. I enjoy Dave Bautista. I enjoy what he did with Drax. Drax is like one of my favorite Avengers characters, along with Mantis, because they just make up me. They show off me. Like, I don't understand metaphors that easily. I have troubles with the complexities of social interaction, and I kind of feel like a Mantis some days because I've got a lot of empathy, but I can easily empathize with people. But still, like I said, I feel for the character. I can relate to the characters a good amount. So yeah. Now, from this, let's head on to Pixar, and my goodness, they've got Fall Guys. I have not played that game, nor do I plan on it at the moment, but we'll not worry about that. This is a film podcast, not a gaming podcast. So, Luca, their newest project, will be telling a coming-of-age story of a sea monster. It is set in Italy, and is written and directed by Enrico Casarosa. I hope I didn't butcher that. La Luna Helmer Enrico Casarosa will direct the coming-of-age tale of a young boy and a sea monster friend from producer Alan Here's the name. I hope I didn't butcher that, but hey, you know. Uh, uh, it is set in Italy and is written by Enrico Casacore, who directed the short film La Luna. The film is set to release July 18th, 2021. The film is set on the Italian Riviera, where a young boy will be experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. Casarosa said, "This is a deeply personal story for me, not only because it's set in the Italian Riviera where I grew up, but because it is at the core of the film, it is a celebration of friendship. Childhood friendship often set the course of who we want to become, and it is those bonds that are at the heart of the story." And Luca. So in addition, to the beauty and charm of the Italian seaside, our film will feature an unforgettable summer adventure that will fundamentally change Luca. He is short. His short La Luna was set in Italy. Follows a young boy and on a midnight boat ride with his father and grandfather. These shorts that Pixar do are to help them find talent for future projects. So I honestly think that this will be an interesting film to watch. I'm quite excited to see it, to be honest. It'll be fun to see. I kind of like what the premise that they're going with this film. It sounds pretty cool, to be honest. I'm down to watch it. I'll be watching it. We'll be talking more with Pixar and what they're doing as time goes on, of course. And with a couple other ones, Godzilla, we'll be continuing on with the Godzilla verse. I believe it's the MonsterVerse or the Titanverse. Still, we'll be keeping an eye on that. We'll be following it as it plays out. So yeah. So we've got another article from Entertainment Weekly. No thanks. What Mulan moving to Disney Plus means for the Hollywood blockbuster. Let's just leave there. Okay, quickly pause this. No thank you. Add. Okay, I should have done this earlier, but again, I'm still getting new to all this. So, Disney said after the announcement of the AMC Universal deal, which have films of theirs be released 3 weeks after the theatrical release on the VOD. Real quick interjection. I think that's a good decision. Because I remember earlier there was a controversy between that and how that Universal just could start throwing older films to VOD, and then they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. But this could definitely change the way movies are released, and I'm not all for it, but I mean, hey, it works at least. It's better than nothing, to be honest. That they would so continuing on with my sentence that with this 3 weeks after the theatrical release on the block, that they would be moving Mulan to Disney Plus exclusive for going to theatrical release. So I'm kind of interested in Mulan. From what I've seen from the trailers, it's a bit different than the normal movie than what the original movie was about, but I think it's good. I like what I feel like the Disney remake should be doing, and I think it's appropriate, is that it should release, that they should try to tell a different story. Change a couple things up, I'm okay with, but make sure the movie give us a different story in a way, kind of freshen things up, but of course, we're in the era of remakes and reboots and sequels, so we're not getting always the best deals with this. So I hope to, when I do become a director, I will say this: even though it'll be independent, I'm going to do the best I can to make creatively diverse movies. Like, I'm not just going to rehash something from a previous movie I make. No, an idea. No, I'm going to do different movies of different types. Of all different types of science fiction, to be honest. I'll do one that's a deep thriller, a sci-fi thriller, and then I'll go to a sci-fi comedy, I'll go from all different types. I want to explore ideas. I've got a number of ideas right now. So yeah, I hope hope this works. So, it will be at $29.99 for people to see it in September. This has come during a time when theaters across the country are at the brink of ruin. Now, Tenet might be able to save them. Because we know Christopher Nolan is not going to be, as we mentioned in the talk about in the last episode, he's not going to change that. He's not gonna make it so people can't, he wants people to watch it, although we have to worry about pirating and all that, but I'm gonna go see this in the theaters, probably multiple times, because this movie deserves it, and the theaters deserve my money in this time. So, yeah, this could be viewed as a sign that the would-be blockbusters won't see theatrical release as well. Mid-budget films have already gone to VOD. Bill and Ted Faces Music is also one of those films that will be on demand. We'll be talking about Bill and Ted because I actually have a trailer. We're going to be watching a trailer of theirs that came out recently. So, I'm going to have a couple episodes. We actually have more than just news and movies today, folks. We've got a lot to talk about today. So yeah, where is it? Yeah, Disney move doesn't cause a referendum. Doesn't cause a referendum to the theaters. Disney has been having their theatrical releases in limbo, and their parks battered. So Disney isn't in the best place right now. Disney has also reported its first quarterly loss since 2001. So that's not good, but I can see why they did this. So, it just sucks that they're not, releasing the film, but whatever. Disney Plus has been a boon for the company, though. They will be able to gain their money back from Mulan. Half of the current subscribers would give them $9 million in return at $30 at the costs of the film. It seems like the early fall films could suffer the same fate, like Black Widow and the New Mutants, which we'll be talking about as well. It is possible that HBO Max would gain new subscribers if they released Wonder Woman 1984 there. I will be watching that, and we'll be talking about that when that movie comes out, although I have ideas on how they could do things differently with that film. I have ideas on how they could go with that film, and we're not going to talk about that until we get into the film, alright? Until we actually talk about something regarding that film, okay? So, Tenet will, of course, be coming out in theaters, since Nolan is an advocate of the theaters. American Pickle was set early on in the pandemic, released on HBO Max. We're going to be talking about that film, American Pickle. That's the film we'll be talking. Well, the film we'll be talking about. That's the only film I have slated for us. So, in the last news we have before we head on to trailers, Captain Marvel 2 lands Nina Dacosta as director. Pause that. Don't care. So, filmmaker Nina before we get into writing, they hired a complete nobody. Alrighty, let's talk about this. Filmmaker Nina Dacosta will be directing Captain Marvel 2. Her highly anticipated film, Candyman, is only one of the 2 films she has directed. So she hasn't directed much, and we'll be going over the one that's already out. Alright? We'll be talking about that. I actually have IMDb up of hers and Rotten Tomatoes on her film. So we'll be talking about them after we go over this article here. She replaces Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, who were originally going to be directing the film. The 2 were the ones who directed Captain Marvel. Kind of glad that they're gone, but I don't have good confidence in her. The film is being written by Megan McDonnell. Dacosta is the first black woman director and the 4th woman director of Marvel. The other female directors are Boden, Kate Shortland, Black Widow, and Chloe Zhao. I might have butchered Chloe's last name, which she will be directing Eternals. This is all part of Marvel's push for broader inclusion in its top creatives. Okay, I want to say this right now because I am somebody who thoroughly believes if they are talking about inclusivity, where are the autistic directors? Give me somebody who has autism as a director out there. Hell, I could be that. But again, I feel like people in the autism community don't get enough credit where credit is due for some of the stuff that they should be in, and there should be more inclusivity to them. But again, I'm not going out there and not preaching it. I'm just saying, I feel like it would be nice if we had an autistic director directing a Marvel film. I would be happy. I would love it. But apparently that's not happening. That might not be happening. We'll see, though. We'll see. Okay, so this is the indie film Littlewood, which we'll be talking about, which we'll be going over, which Dacosta directed, helped launch her career. She is working on the Candyman remake. She shared a picture of the shadow puppet of Candyman. She said that the film is underscored by the intersection of white violence and black pain. Don't get me wrong, that is true, but I don't need lectures in my movies. That's why I dislike Captain Marvel so much. It was it felt like I was being lectured about things, and it's on things. That's like, no, thank you. I'd rather not. I'd rather talk to you about film. I'd rather talk about other stuff. I'd rather peace, and maybe have that be like. I feel like I would rather have politics as an aspect to film, like the prequels of Star Wars. That was well done in my opinion. Or have, no politics in it at all and just be able to sit there and watch it and enjoy it. I don't care for politics in my films, alright? Unless it makes sense, I'm perfectly fine with it. The Captain Marvel director's chair has been long sought after, and Dacosta won it. So, let's go into her IMDb page real quick to kind of give you a bit more about her. Nina Dacosta is known for her work on Littlewood, Candyman in 2020, and Captain Marvel 2 in 2022. Let's learn a bit about her, alright? There's nothing on her. There's nothing on her. Oh my god. Okay. We only have the mini bio. The heck is Sleeping with the Enemy? An animated prequel to Candyman, it recounts the original tale of the Candyman legend. Okay. I don't have IMDb Pro, but okay. That is interesting. She apparently worked in My Crazy Beautiful Life, seems like, if I'm not mistaken, or is it okay. Shark Loves Amazon, I Love the 1880s, Toy Boy, Top Boy, Littlewood, Night and Day, okay. Celeste, Livelihood, okay. Odessia, okay. Huh. Interesting. I'm not getting much off of her. But now let's take a look at her Rotten Tomatoes. So, it's a 95% by critics, of course, but what really counts is the audience score. That's really important. Okay. Littlewood, North Dakota, a fracking boom town well beyond its prime. Ollie is trying to survive the last few days of her probation after getting caught illegally running prescription pills over the Canadian border. Awesome. But when her mother dies, she is thrust back into the life of her estranged sister, Deb, who is facing her own crisis with an unplanned pregnancy and deadbeat ex. The two find they have 1 week to settle the mortgage on their mother's house or face foreclosure. As bills and pressure mount, Ollie faces a choice whether to return to a way of life she thought she'd left behind for just one more score, or to leave it all behind. What? Well, return to a way of life she thought she'd left behind for just one more score, or to leave it all behind. Okay, I am having trouble trying to understand what the heck that is they're talking about there. A taunt and affecting thriller about sisters pushed to extremes from an award-winning director. Okay, I don't really want to know how this is award-winning, but whatever. So, let's take a look at some of the audience scores here, folks. This fella rated 3 stars. Incredibly slow and very little depth. Life is hard sometimes. We struggle to find a way through. The plot of that's the plot of true movie with very few additions. Lily James is the only reason I watched the whole thing. Okay. Pandemic of 2020, the apocalypse that become escapist cautionary genre of du jour. Judging by Contagion's weeks-long run atop of most watched streaming titles, along with a host of other viral cases, zombies and non-zombies alike. The truth is, for millions of Americans, America is post-apocalyptic. The remnants of civilization is declined after some unknown collapse. What? How is this about Littlewood? Okay, let's just... So I rated 3.5 stars. I'm only skipping that because that's all. I don't know how any of that connects to the film, but we're gonna... Okay, so Tessa Thompson and Lily James carry an otherwise pedestrian film with a pair of powerful performances that will make this very watchable. Okay, Tessa shows she's a future star with some very Oscar baity scenes in the movie that won't be winning any awards. I'm very curious I love how they're like award-winning director, yet she's not won an award yet. Okay, the filmmaker doesn't have the story touched on many subjects, but the filmmaker doesn't have the courage to take a stance on anything. It is a frustrating flick with a shotgun finish, but it's not the worst thing if you're stuck inside. Final score is 6.8 out of 10. Okay, not bad. This guy gave it 4 stars. Really liked the film. Well written and directed. 2 great co-lead performances. Few tense scenes that I thought would end sadly, and they did not. Okay. This guy rated 3.5. Low stakes, high drama. Understandable. Let's see. Let's just do one more. This guy rated 3 stars. It was a great movie. Great to watch on Netflix, but I would have hated if I spent money at the theater to go see it. I think think with a better ending, I'd have been theater worthy. Tessa is a phenomenal actress and carried this film on her own. Good for her, and can't wait to see more. Okay, not bad stuff on the director, but again, I don't have full confidence in her. I don't. So, yeah. Now let's take a look at some trailers, shall we? Let's. Alrighty, so like I said, we'll be taking a look at some trailers. So, let's start off with Bill and Ted Face the Music. Alright. Let's hit play.
If it isn't the Wild Stallions. Let's rock!
When your wives suggested couples therapy, do you think that this is what they had in mind?
Definitely. I mean, we're a couple of couples, right?
Bill, Ted, enough of the delusions. You didn't time travel, and you didn't go to heaven and hell. Here's a real idea for you. Be role models to your daughters. Get real jobs.
Bill, we've spent our whole life trying to unite the world. And I'm tired, dude.
Ted, we have a destiny to fulfill.
Whoa!
Greetings, my excellent friend. We have a problem.
Step forward. A song created by Preston Logan, performed tonight, will save reality as we know it.
Oh. Dude, we better write that song now. Or why can't we just go to the future when we have written it?
And take it from ourselves.
Except, won't that be stealing?
Cheers! How is that stealing? If we're stealing it from ourselves, dude.
Dude, our dads are totally in trouble. We should help them out.
No way! How's it going, Bill and Ted?
We're putting together a most extraordinary band.
Hey, you want to be in our band?
Oh, das ist ja fantastisch.
We're gonna go talk to Death. Is he playing hopscotch by himself? Dude, he's cheating. Hey, Death!
Life, it isn't a wild stallion.
Let's rock!
Be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes!
Billy! Dad! How you doing?
Well, you know, we're dead and we're in hell.
But how you doing?
We're good.
Okay, I want to say this film looks interesting. At a certain point in here, that like the beginning of this trailer kind of sets up what their life is right now. I kind of like how that like it. I feel like that's kind of giving me a bit of structure of like what the film's how the film's gonna go. We're gonna see them in normal life, and then here we get the like the beginning of their journey into the world, their journey. Here we hear what the stakes are, what they gotta do. Really good. I really like it. And of course, we kind of get to see an idea of like their traveling. You know, the big buff, burly men who are them as well, and that's probably a different reality. But yeah, that you kind of get an idea here. Like how, and we get an idea what their kids are going to be doing alongside their journey, which I'm kind of interested to see. I haven't seen the original Bill and Ted, I'm going to say that. Probably going to give that a look at some point. I know, probably blasphemous. And then, you know, the meeting of some of death, you know. And yeah. Oh, wait, there's actually one more bit here. Okay, my goodness.
Yeah! Billy! Dad! How you doing?
Well, you know.
Oh wait, no, we've already talked about that. We were that. My bad. Yeah, here we get to see that. Oh, my bad. I did not mean to do that. Maybe that might not. Oh, I help a bit. So, we get to see that they'll eventually run into each other. So hey, it's not bad. It works. I wouldn't say this is probably one of the best trailers, but it's a good trailer nonetheless. There's nothing really I want to go over, like how they shot scenes in here, because I do want to do that at some point, but we're not going to get to that right now. So, on to another trailer. Phineas and Ferb, the movie Candace Against the Universe. Now, I'd like to see this, although I don't have what's his face, Disney Plus, but when I do, I will watch it. All right, and we'll probably go over it. All right, so.
Candace, every day you call and tell me Phineas and Ferb have built some big, unbelievable thing. And every day I come home to find nothing there. Doesn't it exhaust you? It exhausts me. Oh, look, there's nothing here.
Okay, guys, I give up. What does this one do?
Candace?
Candace! Where are you going? Where is she going? Candace got abducted by aliens and taken to another planet. When we step through this portal, we're gonna be on an alien planet.
Hello!
Hello and welcome, aliens.
Giant robots! Quick, give them Buford!
Oh, that's just Norm. He's usually harmless.
If we're going to rescue Candace, we need to build a spaceship.
My galactic travel-inator!
You mean like a spaceship?
But it's an inator. There's a difference. It's branding. Leave me alone.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. We have to pass through an ion barrier.
Yeah, so?
So it could fry all of the electronics on the ship, starving us in space!
Okay, that was something I did not know.
We need to find where they're keeping Candace.
I know what we're gonna do today. It's me against the universe.
Cancel. Okay, and why is that on? Okay. I'm gonna say, as somebody who is a fan of Phineas and Ferb, I'm excited for this. I'm gonna want to check this out, of course. One of my favorite moments in this trailer, actually, not that moment. Here, where it's like, this is my galactic travel-inator. It's like, bruh, it's a spaceship. But I get it, branding. So at least somebody's calling him out on that, alright? But like I said, it's pretty interesting. Hopefully, I'll definitely give it a look because this is something I want to watch. There's not really much we can go over because, this is like, when is this coming out actually? Let's get an idea when this is coming out. August 28th. Alright. I'll be done I'll probably be close to moving by that time out of this place. So yeah. And I like here that they actually give us a bit of meditative content, comment on like how Candace tells his mom, keeps telling their mom, like, hey, look, there's something you're not. I kind of like that. That's a bit. I like that bit in meta. All right, it's cool. It works. So, last but not least, we've got one more trailer to look at, and it is the new Mutants. It's a TV spot. Yes, I know I have dark theme on. That's how I like it. Alrighty. So, let's take a look at this, and then we'll kind of go over things, and then we'll go into marketing.
New mutants are dangerous. That's why you're here.
Ooh, scary.
This isn't a hospital. It's a cage.
Together, we can get out of here.
That thing will kill you!
He's right, it's Mate. So am I.
The New Mutants.
That was so hot.
Rated PG-13. Theaters August 28th.
Okay. I don't need autoplay on. Why do we have autoplay on YouTube? So this seems to be more of a darker approach on X-Men, This seems to be a bit more of a grittier, darker tone, and that's pretty apparent from the first trailer that was released. But still, this is going to be interesting. I don't know which continuity this is going to be in, because there's the McAvoy timeline, there's the Stewart timeline. I'm just talking in like the sense of who played Picard, because I don't even know if they're at the same timeline. All right, to be perfectly honest, I don't think they are. I don't think we'll be getting another. Unfortunately, we might not be getting another X-Men film because of Dark Phoenix's failure. So yeah. Like I say, I'll probably give this a watch. I'm into the X-Men. I had no clue originally what this was originally. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, it's when I first saw the trailer. But, like I said, it looks interesting. I kind of like how some of these characters are. Where's the scene I wanted to point out? Yeah, this segment right here. I want to know what's going on here. That's kind of all I really want to figure out. I kind of also want to know more about this chick and her powers. It's everybody else's powers, to be perfectly honest. But it'll be interesting to see. I'll give my thoughts on it when it eventually drops. So, on to marketing, shall we? Let's. So, there's not much to talk about, and this article is kind of a joke. Shirtless, stop it. Shirtless Jason Momoa gives us the Dune marketing we've been waiting for. Not where I think. Maybe it's Quarren Brain, or maybe Warner Bros. Should make these pics their official Dune photo. Promo. Ugh. No thanks. We'll talk about this, and this article is kind of a joke, alright? But we'll get to that, alright? According to reports, we'll be getting a Dune trailer next month. Momoa posted pictures of him getting hosed down after getting all muddy for a photo shoot. This is a picture, apparently, of, get an idea what this is going to be about. Okay, get rid of this. No, I can't. Okay. Well, you probably can't see it because I'm covering it. So, here are the pictures of Momoa. Here's him getting hosed down. Him shirtless, still probably getting hosed down, or at least wet. Him on a dune buggy, and dirty. So yeet. Okay. Nope. Okay, I did not want to do that. We're gonna talk about the Instagram post though, he dropped a plug for Dune on the images he posted. He wrote, "Like a pig in shit. Hard to explain this one, but I had an amazing day." Momoa wrote, "Now I need a Dune buggy, Dune coming soon. Aloha." I believe he added the name of the guy, a dirty pig. He mentioned okay. This line right here, this section right here. If Dune trailer is anything like this, and by that we mean 90 seconds of Momoa getting hosed down, this movie will probably be a jump on everyone's most anticipated list. Right. This is where I mean this is a joke. I do not agree with the fact that if they just do a 90-second trailer of Momoa getting hosed down while he's shirtless, I am going to just opt out of it. Nope. If that's the whole film, nope. I doubt it's going to be, though. This person's eyes, they would love it, and if it was that, and they probably wouldn't want anything else. I would like an actual movie. So, I really don't care. I really don't care for it. We're gonna have Oscar Isaac in this, Rebecca Hall, Josh Brolin, Zendaya. This was not needed. Dave Bautista, who we talked about earlier in the episode. Yeah, no, they're not. They're working on making a trailer. They're probably getting a trailer made right now as we speak. So yeah, I'm excited to see the trailer. Hopefully, we actually, when it does drop, we'll take a look at it, We'll take a look at it, we'll talk about it, And, yeah. So, on to movies. Alrighty, let's talk about American Pickle. This is only available on HBO Max, which luckily I have access to, but if you don't have access to it, I don't really know what to say, honestly. I'm not trying to sound like I'm all snooty and no, I just don't know. I don't know how you go around that. I mean, there's pirating, of course, but I don't condone the pirating, okay? So, it's the only one I've seen, so we'll get into that, alright? We'll talk about this. So, American Pickle. Now, I will say there's some spoilers in this, so if you want to see this film, jump off now, and you can just jump to where we talk about where I place this on the list, but we'll go from there. All right. If you don't care about spoilers, that's perfectly. Then just stay tuned. So this was a good film. I liked Herschel. He was well done, and that character himself was pretty interesting. It was sad that he never got to see his grandchildren or child, nonetheless. But he and his great grandson were able to connect. The two people, one from a different time, getting to know each other. It's kind of like a great way to describe the film, honestly. I feel like Herschel was smart in creating a business. He knew how to handle a pickle company because, I mean, he worked there. I mean, it was for so many crafts. I'm sure he was able to pick up on how to do it, which honestly I found out was interesting. I mean, like, he was stuck in pickle brine for a century, then came back and was like, yo, I'm making pickle business, you know, make pickle, shut down Cossacks. I love his accent, alright? There's so many things I love about Herschel, but we'll get into that. I like that we were meant to root for Herschel. Ben was someone I disliked after a certain point. And that was like after he was like, yeah, get out of my office. You ruined my business. It's like, bruh. It's not... He has no clue about what the internet is. Don't go blaming it on him. He was trying to do what he knew back then. But whatever. I'm not going to get into that too much. Alright. I like how the two made bygones be bygones and went to work together on another pickle company. But still, I wish we got to see that in the film, but that's fine. Leaves us to imagine what would have happened in the long run with the two. Seth as Herschel and Ben did a good job. I was amazed to know that Seth Rogen was doing both acts, alright, both characters, which was kind of interesting, but I'm also kind of curious, how did he pull that off? How did he pull that off? I have a lot of questions there, but, you know, it was easy to tell that Ben was played by Seth because he looked like him, but Herschel, I did not know he was played by Seth Rogen. He did a good job playing the two different characters. They were both distinct from each other. I did not know that Michael Giacchino helped with scoring the film. Michael Giacchino, for those who don't know who Michael Giacchino is, he's probably one of the coolest one of the best, one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite composers. Alright, I love his work. His naming of tracks are wonderful. I love how he names them. They are like puns. I love it. The man. I want this man to keep. I hope this guy's got a great. He seems like he's got a good career. I love his work. It was so he helped score the film. It was only the main title, but still, I could not tell it was him. I can normally I can tell when he scored the film. He's got a certain style when it comes to things. I don't really know how to describe it. I know that. I mean, I'm thinking right now of the Incredible theme. There's like a lot of brass. There's a certain oomph that comes with each track, and I didn't realize that was him. Pretty good, you know. Thoroughly surprised. Brandon Trost did a good job telling the story, and Simon Rich did a good job writing it. It was amazing to see that this was based off a short story that Simon Rich wrote. I actually do want to check that out, actually. That does sound interesting, you know. This was pretty interesting to me. I'd recommend this movie for for people who are into history and seeing how someone from the past would be like in today's world. Pretty much what I mean by that is, you know, when he got on the Twitter, he was very politically correct. And what he said about, like, the Christians, that was a big no in our time. But again, it was interesting to see that. I kind of felt bad for Herschel because, you know, he didn't know anything about this. Everyone was just trying to cancel him. But he was able to fight that, and I like that. I mean, hey, you can overcome being canceled in this day and age. That's perfect. There's not much to be complaining about here. It could be better. It could have been better, but all around, it was a good movie, and I stick to that. So now, onto movie list. So as you can see, we've got the first five movies we looked at in the last episode on here already. So, American Pickle. Where would I put American Pickle? I'm leaning more towards 6th place. Dune was good. Probably better than this one. I'll have to write that down. American Pickle. It was a good film, but not. Now, onto the movie list. So here we are, here's the list. So where would I put American Pickle? American Pickle would probably be here. It would be here. I'd probably put it here in 6th place. Now, right now, since we're 6 out of 6, and being in 6th place is not the best right now at the current. As time goes on, of course, we're gonna have more films to discuss. So the reason why I put it there is because it could have been better. It was not as bad as it wasn't as great as Dune, because Dune had some good world building in it. It had some things. It had the ability to stand on its leg. It was able to stand on its leg, you know. But if I'm trying to figure out what I'm saying here. Dune felt like it was a world that was lived in. This one, I kind of just felt like we were going into a world, and it did feel lived in a way, but it could have been done a bit better. Both of them were based off of something. Dune was based off of a novel. American Pickle was based off a short story. I feel like with a book, you have a lot more to work with as opposed to a short story. You're gonna have to draw things out. But again, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, it could have been better, both of them. But honestly, it's like that's more for Dune than with anything else. So yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So let us outro this. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed making it for you guys. We had a lot to talk about today. I have not checked how long this video actually is going to be going for today. So hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. Highly recommend doing all that, because you'll get to know when you'll get to see the next 3 remaining episodes. Free as in, you know, doesn't cost anything. 3 episodes. So we have 3 more left that are free for you all on YouTube, and then onto Subscribestar for all full episodes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed recording this for you guys. This was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications as well. Comment down below what you'd like to see me talk about, or models for me to build. Again, this is on DKBrickStudios, so you can tell me what you'd like to see in the future. Also, if you're listening on Subscribestar, you know, hey, enjoy the bonus, enjoy the features. If you want to see all the episodes free, for $5, if you want to listen to every episode after the full episodes in full, check out Subscribestar. Only $5 per month. All right, not bad, not bad deal. You get 4 to 5 episodes a month. Not a bad deal in my opinion. I would definitely take it. And you'll be helping me grow the channel, get more people on here, you know, all that cool stuff. So yeah, like, check out my friend's home Rise. Link to that is always in the description down below as well. Also check out my socials. Link to in the description down below. I'll try to keep up to date when the new podcast on Twitter. I'll let you guys know on there, but other than that, go check out the Discord where you get notified when the episodes have been released. At least for YouTube, and then we'll start really telling you, hey, clips are out. But hey, check that out. I recommend it. Not a lot's going on there right now, but I'm working on it, making it better. And yeah. This is Damien from... Is there anything else I need to say real quick? I think that's it. So yeah, Damien from DKBrickStudios podcast. Signing off. Remember,